Hi everyone, welcome to another video of our Enum series. In this video, I am going to discuss with you Enum map, and this is something a very interesting topic, and we already work with HashMap, right? All this link HashMap, tree map. There is a map interface we have, and we use those cases, right? But let us understand what is EnumMap, right? And here are the topics that you can see we are going to discuss in today's video. So we are going to discuss about what is EnumMap, and after that we will jump to why to use or when to use EnumMap, when you should go for EnumMap, right? So and also we'll be doing some comparison of EnumMap versus HashMap, how they are different, so that you can I can say smartly choose which one you have to pick for your work, right? So whether you should go for HashMap or some other map, or you should go for a EnumMap, right? And after that we'll be learning how to use it, and then we'll see how real-time use cases we can utilize in our map, right? So this is the agenda of today, guys. So let us try to understand what is in our map, right? So for that I'll take you to the next, you can say, I'll just scroll up a little bit. Okay, now here you can see what is the enum map, right? So here you can see from the definition, you can see enum map is nothing but a special kind of map in Java which is designed exclusively for enum keys. What that does mean? That means that in such cases, when we go for a enum map, the key which we are going to use, there must be a enum type of key. Okay, so we know map contains key and values, so the key and values, right? So for the cases we are going to use hash map, here the key must have to be enums. Okay, and you can have anything in the value. It can be your string data, it can be your integer, object, anything, right? That is not any restriction, but only thing is, for if you are going to use enum maps, then you have to use the keys that you are going to use, they must be your enum keys. Okay, and here are the couple of, you can see, properties, or you can say characteristics of enum map. So what all are the characteristics of an enum map we have? It's a, first of all, it is a part of java.util package, and after that you can see that internally how they manage the data, they use the arrays to for the better performance. Okay, you know that array is very compact, right? So when you manage the data by using arrays, so those are very faster and memory efficient, right? So that's why internally Java use arrays for the data manipulation of your hash map, sorry, enum map, right? So for that reason we found that enum map is very you can say helpful in the performance, right? So another thing is the characteristic, we can say it is a faster than your hash map, and also as it is we are using the arrays, so you can understand that it must be the memory efficient also, right? And also one more advantage of enum map is it maintains the order, right? Now let us try to understand why to use in a map, right? When we have already map from map class, we have hash map, right? And we are actually used to we are useful to, we use it very much, right? Whenever we need a map kind of data structure, then we go for definitely hash map, right? But here the topic, here the thing is, by when we talk about something kind of, you can say, I am more and more interested on the performance side of my test cases or my uh, application, right? When sometime I am more, you can see, convenient on the when discussing about the memories, how much memory you are going to take, right? All these things if you are going to take into consideration, then in such case enum map is going to help you on this. So if you are using enum map, then the things that, what all the advantages we are going to get, we are getting the advantages in the, in case of performance, we can say performance, right? And what all other things we can see, there is a memory, less memory, less memory consumption, right? Then what are the things we can see, it is actually maintain natural order, right? Insertion order, the things we have seen over here, these are the nothing but the advantage of our hash map, right? Or any other kind of hash map that we have in Java, right? Under the map interface. So from there we are getting this kind of advantages, right? So this is one of the good reason why is to use the hash map, sorry, EnumMap, right? Now let us quickly see how can we use this, or how to use EnumMap, right? So for that I will take you to the IntelliJ. So and we'll be you can say we'll do some coding there so that we can understand how to use it, right? Let me first quickly create a class. This time what we are going to do, we are going to create a class called environment, okay? And that is I'm going to define as a enum. Okay, so let me create an environment class first. So let's say I'm going to create an class, and I'm selecting environment, and I'm giving a name, let's say environment, right? Environment. So I have created an enum, and this is the enum that I have created. And for for my application, I am going to set the environments, right? So let's see, for my application, I have environments called dev environment. I can have environment called QA environment. I can have environment like UAT environment. I can environment like prod environment, right? So these are the environments that we can have for my application. And for this application, I want to set some parameters, right? Let's say I want to set my application URL or some other configuration details, right? So what we generally do, generally we use HashMap or some configuration file. There we load the data within the hash map. But instead of that, why we should not go for EnumMap, right? Let us try to see how it looks like, right? Now let me create one more class, so which is going to return me the data for environment properties, right? So let me give a name of the class, say environment config, right? So we can say environment config, right? So this is the class that I'm going to create, and in this class I'm going to have some static members. Let's me first create a static member for this has EnumMap, right? So I can create a EnumMap. So let's say EnumMap, and then the data type we are going to have, it is a kind of the key should be enum, right? We know the EnumMap, that is the key should be enum. Let me first create the map, then after that we'll be providing name, right? So let's say enum config, right? Let's say I'm going to store the data here for URLs, right? Let's say URLs, right? And then I'm going to define the name as a type of, what is the type of data I'm going to store here, EnumMap. So I can say EnumMap, sorry, set, not set, EnumMap, right? And what is the class that I want to have here, that is the type of, you can say, the environment map we have created, right? So you can say environment dot class, right? Okay. Map. Okay. And inside of this I want to pass this, let's say, what is the type of key should be, it should be my enum, right? And my enum is nothing but that environment, so I can say environment. And what is the value is going to be, my value is going to be string type value, so I can say string, right? Okay, so here I am forgetting one new keyword, so I can say new enum. This is how I have created a, you can say, variable URLs, that is a, you can say, reference of enum map. And with this enum reference I am going to store the all the data of the enum, right? So what I can do, I can make it public and static so that I can use it from outside of the class, right? So we can say, let me make it private and then static, and also I want to make it final, right? I do not want some other to change it, right? After that, what we can see, we can have a static block here. Inside of this static block I can define the data, right? So what I can say, base URL, so I can say urls, and then I can say dot put, I can put all the data that I want to use, right? So we can say environment dot, I can start from dev, and what is the value of the dev environment. Let's see, for my environment it is like let's say https // dev dot, let's say this dev dot, let's say the, let's say anything like sample.com, right? So this is my dev environment. So similarly I can put the rest of the data for different environments. So I can get for QA, and let me change it to QA only, and then similarly I can go for UAT. So I can say UAT, quickly change it, and one more we have left, and that is a prod, right? So we can say prod, and I'm just changing the URL here. So this is a prod. Now this is something we have set that map, and to fetch the map I want to give a method also, right? So I can create a method, let's say public static. Definitely it must be a static method, and there I'm going to return the data of this URL variable, right? So it will be type of string type of data I'm going to return, and I can say get URL, right? And then here I'm going to ask the user to pass me the environment, which type of environment that for which environment you are going to asking the data, and that environment is must be the type of your enums, right? So here I can see, and the type is definitely for our case the type is environment, I can say env, and then we are going to return the data. So how can we return? We can fetch the data from these URLs. So I can say return, and from the URLs I can fetch the data. So I can say get, and we can say environment, right? So this is how we can fetch the data. Whatever user is going to ask me for data, I'm going to fetch, and I'm going to return the data. Now we are done with the implementation. Now we can test it, right? To test it, let me quickly go to the test method, and there I'm creating a test class so that we can test it what we have developed, right? So let me go here, and I say test enum app, right? So let me first define a main method over here. So I'm using main method. Inside of this I'm going to create, I'm going to fetch the data of the URLs, right? From, let's say I want to fetch the prod URL, or I want to fetch data of the dev URL, right? So how can I fetch? Let's say I'm going to fetch string, let's say dev URL is equal to, can I say that I can call this from environment, right? So can I say it like this way, that we can say environment config. So we have created env environment config. This is the class we have created, and then we can say get URL, and here I have to pass what is the URL you want to get. Now here I do not have to be worried about what is the spelling I have used over there. I can simply say environment.dev, right? So we are not at all worried about what is the case sensitiveness, or some, if you, let's say if you are using HashMap or some other kind of maps, right? So you must be have to be worried about the case sensitiveness and all these things, right? So here by using this we are efficiently, and you can say smartly managing those things, right? We do not have to be worried about case and other things, right? Now let me just simply print it, and we'll be observing the URL, right? We can say uh, let's say app URL, and let me just print it. So let's say app URL. Now let's try to run this code. Okay, it is running now. Just a second. Okay, now here you can see dep URL, we fetch the data that we have stored, right? Now you can understand how it is useful, right? So for your project, let's say you have some constants to store, so this is how you can store them. So from wherever you are going to use that, you do not have to be worried about what is the key that you have used, what is the spelling there, whether there is a case sensitiveness is there or not, right? So all these things you do not have to be worried about. These are the smartly we are managing the data. So this is one of the biggest advantage, and another advantage of using the enum map I have already discussed you in the document, that these are, you can see the performance, memory, and also it is using as arrays in the internally, so that it is helping us on the performance. I do not have to externally take care of how we are using it, right? So these are the major reason, these are the major points of using the EnumMap, right? That's it for this video, guys. If you found this helpful, show me some love, right? And also I have added this, you can say, code example in the GitHub link, so you can check it out. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.